Hey, church family. As we turn to Matthew 2 today, Matthew tells us the story of Jesus' infancy and childhood, and he does so with a purpose. Matthew was writing his gospel to a primarily Jewish audience, men and women who had grown up with a knowledge of and a love for the Jewish scriptures, what we would call the Old Testament. Matthew includes this story about Jesus' childhood in order to point out how Jesus fulfilled the Old Testament prophecies about the Jewish Messiah. In chapter 2, Matthew points out how Jesus fulfilled 4 of the messianic prophecies. As chapter 2 begins, the wise men come to Jerusalem seeking the newborn king. Herod, the current king, is troubled and assembles all the chief priests and scribes and asks them where the Christ was to be born. And in verses 5 and 6, they answer in this way: In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet, And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. So the wise men go to Bethlehem, and there they find the newborn king. Then an angel warns Joseph in a dream to take his family and to flee to Egypt in order to escape the coming persecution from Herod. Joseph awakes, and he takes Mary and Jesus, and they go to Egypt. And Matthew reminds us that by doing this, Jesus fulfilled the prophecy, Out of Egypt I have called my son. Then Herod sends soldiers to Bethlehem and kills all the male children in that region who were 2 years old or under. Fulfilling the prophecy spoken by Jeremiah, a voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. But later Herod died, and an angel of the Lord again appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, telling him to come back to Israel. Joseph packed up Mary and Jesus and returned to Israel, but because Herod's son Archelaus was reigning in Judea at the time, Joseph did not return there, but settled in the district of Galilee, in the city of Nazareth. And by doing this, the prophecy spoken by the prophets was fulfilled, that the Messiah would be called a Nazarene. Through telling Jesus' story, Matthew reveals how Jesus fulfilled the messianic prophecies. To his audience, Matthew's point was clear. Jesus is the Messiah. He is the King of Kings. He is the leader of his people and the leader of our lives. This truth calls for a response. Will you believe that Jesus is the Messiah? Will you serve him as King? And will you follow him as he leads your life? As we begin the new year and as we begin this day, let's ask ourselves those questions. Will I believe? Will I serve? Will I follow? Enjoy your time with the Messiah today.